All right, round 3 in Melbourne, World Supercross. We're here with Colt Nichols, Rick Ware Racing. Colt, I don't know what the hell you got in the first 2, but that last one, where did that come from?
I have no idea either on the first 2. The third one's where I wanted to be the whole time and felt like where I should have been this whole series, but the whole day can snowball really quick in this series, and the way the tracks are built, and a lot of 90s, and it's tough to make up time. It's tough to pass. We've had smaller stadiums, smaller tracks. They just build them a lot different than the U.S., so it takes some time to get used to it. But overall, if you get a bad qualifying time, bad heat race, and you're stuck outside on the gate, it snowballs really quickly. So it was just tough, man. I would get stuck back in the back and needed to be more aggressive, needed to make better passes and get around guys and try and move forward. And I just felt like I got a little too stuck, in the first 2 main events and really this whole series. But that last one was the easiest race I've had the whole time, So it's frustrating in a sense, but also rewarding, knowing that that's where I feel like I should have been the whole time, battling for this championship and up there running with Ken and Joey and all these guys. So rewarding, but also really frustrating at the same time. Does
it give value to that comment where everybody goes, it's just the start? Like, is it as simple as a start in that case? Because that's what it looked like tonight for that last race.
For me, that's certainly what it was. Which is insane. That it can make that big of a difference. Like I said, I have no idea what place I got those first two main events. Yeah, it was
sorry,
horrible.
But you were.
No, it was horrible. And it was almost laughable because the first main event, I think me and Kyle Chisholm passed each other maybe 5 or 6 times. Like, it was insane.
Well, Chiz did the similar. He was like up there at the last one too, but not as good as yourself. But yeah, he had 2 bad ones. And so yeah, you like at the back at the beginning, and then the last one you both up the front.
It was insane. But it's all just track position. that was pretty clear, for me. The first one though, me and Chiz going back and forth, and I jumped the finish, and I'm like, well, Chiz is on the inside. He's gonna pass me again, for like the 5th time. So it's almost kind of funny, but. It's all racing, it's the same for everybody. It's not like I had different shoes than anybody else. I just needed to be a lot better than what I was at making passes, getting up front, being more assertive off the gate, and just putting myself in a better spot. And I felt like I didn't do that really this whole series. So it was a frustrating series. It tested me quite a bit. But overall, to end it that way, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, nice. Now, 2024. I'm going to ask you for some tips because I'm actually going to ride a beta here as a media test in about a week and a half. So how is the beta for you?
I honestly love it. It's been a really good transition. Surprisingly, a lot better than I anticipated. Not thinking it was going to be bad in the first place, but you just don't know what to expect. Getting on it, hopping into Supercross, there's zero data at all. We have zero Supercross data. We don't even know where to set the sag, where to do anything. We're all just going off a feel. And it's kind of cool. A lot of teams have ways, and they're kind of stuck in their ways where they want the bike, how they want the bike, and this is just an open book. So it's good. Once we get to the racing, it might get a little more difficult. We don't have notes to go back on and things like that. But overall, man, chassis-wise, I love the way the chassis feels. We're working on getting a little more horses underneath it, and I'm really happy with where we are this early, for sure.
With the beta, obviously it's not a mainstream brand at this point, right? Yep. Parts-wise, the additional accessories, clamps, options for that. I gather there's not heaps of that. Have you had to start with literally stock and then just go, I want to do this, and they're trying to go and build it, or how's that work for you?
Yeah, somewhat. We've got lucky and got a handful of parts, a handful of things to try and test. Mainly, at this level, it's mainly fork and shock.
Internal valving.
Yeah, all day. But we have really good external parts. We really haven't done an insane amount of changing the bike, really. Where it was, like Carlin Gardner, our team manager, and the notes and stuff we have from the MXGP side we were using. We were able to use some of the parts from those guys, what they had, and Carlin did a bunch of testing before just to get like somewhat of a base, and that's kind of what we went off of. And like I said, we've tested a lot of suspension stuff, some clamp stuff, some things like that, but we haven't done an insane amount yet. I really haven't got to ride it as much as I've wanted. But where we are now, I do feel we're in a good spot. It's kind of one thing at a time. Each day, it's an improvement. So I'm happy. It's like I said, I wish I had more seat time on it, but it is what it is. We got the whole month of December to get ready for A1. I'm really happy about that. I don't have to bounce back and forth between a Cowie and a beta anymore. I can just be on one bike.
That would be pleasant.
I'm very happy to do that. So it's been kind of an insane year, starting on the Honda, riding the Cowie, now been on the beta. So I just want to be stuck on something and start to build and get a relationship with a bike and try and learn it as quick as I can.
So positively looking forward to 2024, I gather.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's going to be a good season, man. It'll be exciting. We'll have our highs and lows, and I mean that's evident, you know.
But that's racing anyway.
That's racing anyway, and the team's aware of that too. You know, like we're not trying to shoot for the stars, but we also, I feel like me and Vinny are good riders, and we have a lot of potential, and I feel like the bike has a lot of potential itself. So, you know, we'll see. One thing at a time, one weekend at a time. We got our goals where we feel like we need to be, and by the end of the season, I really hope we're in a spot where we can surprise a lot of people with it.
Yeah, nice. Well, look, thank you for making the trip down to Australia for World Supercross, and hopefully we see you down here at some point again soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.